Hey y'all, welcome back to Bubba's Cooking. And today for you, we're making a butternut squash apple burger. What sounds more fall than that? So y'all, let's get started. Alright y'all, so the first thing I would like to do is go ahead and put my butternut squash in the oven. So what I've done, I went ahead and done this off the air, but this makes up to like basically 1.5 cups of butternut squash. This is a medium sized cut. So first thing I'd like to do is just put this on a baking sheet or roasting pan, whatever you want to call it. Alright, spread these all around. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. You don't have to add the pepper if you don't like, but I like to have a little heat to mine. I'm adding pink Himalayan salt. You can add regular kosher salt if you like. And now I'm going to be adding avocado oil. You don't have to add oil at all if you don't want to. I just like to drizzle a little for roasting. Alright, so I'm going to let this go in the oven for 15 minutes. And then I will cut up my apple. And then I will place it in the oven with this and let it go for another 30 minutes. Alright y'all, so now I'm going to go to the oven. And put that in for about 15 minutes. Alright, so in the meantime, while that's going, I will go ahead and get my Granny Smith apple. It's one large Granny Smith. So I'll just cut that in half, try to miss the seeds, but of course you could tell that I did not. I cut too close to the core, but that's okay. Y'all, I really love the fall. Like, fall reminds me of the fair. It also reminds me of Cruising the Coast, which is a very big old car show that happens in October, the first week of October every year. But I think this year, because of the coronavirus, they will not be having that this year. And also, I just like the cool weather. You could wear scarves. You know, it's not freezing to where like you have to wear a thick jacket. You know, it's just lightweight jackets with a scarf. I love wearing scarves. So I'm pretty excited and stoked about this fall. So I will now cut this into like a medium dice. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just doing this because it's going to go in for another 30 minutes. So do y'all like fall? As you can tell, I like fall. I'm already decorating fall. I have a pumpkin that has a recipe of pumpkin pie. I have a pumpkin latte, spice latte thing in the back. I have some fake leaves. I love my little fall. I don't know, it just brings back a lot of memories, especially of the fair. Sometimes it'll be very cold when we're on the rides and our hands will be freezing. Oh, but it'll be so fun because the food get all fat and sassy. Let me stop. Oh God. But what I like about living in Utah, well, I would say yesterday they had winds that was categorized as a Hurricane 3. It was 112 miles per hour winds that hit in Utah yesterday in Salt Lake City and knocked out over 100,000 of people. And it knocked out power to over 100,000 people. Some are still left without power. Thank God we have power. So far there was no injuries. But I guess that's what happens when summer meets fall. You start having all these cold fronts. And apparently this cold front had freaking pressure because a lot of stuff happened. But it snowed a little bit yesterday. Not enough for it to stick or anything. But I'm excited because the leaves are going to start changing. So you can just sip on some hot cocoa or some pumpkin spice latte, if you'd like to say, if you want to be basic pumpkin spice latte, you know, with the people with the Uggs, with the scarves, you know, sipping on some latte. Don't get me wrong, I'm joining the basic bitches, okay? Oh god. Alright. So you hear that sound? It's time for us to get out the Ooh, so now it's time to get out the butternut squash for us to do the second step of adding the apples to the tray, okay? So let's go. So now we just add in the apples. Just give it a whirl. Is it hot? Make sure it's evenly spread out. I will add just a little bit of salt. And pepper. A little bit of avocado oil. Boom, that's enough, good. Gracias. Alright, so now it's time to go in the oven for another, well, for 30 minutes, okay? First time was 15, now it's 30 minutes. Alright, so in the meantime, while that's in the oven, I will go ahead and make an aioli. So I will be making an aioli that has caramelized onions in there, okay? So first, I'd like to get my little handy dandy ninja, okay? All right. So let me go ahead and put this 1 cup of mayo. It could be vegan mayo. It could be regular mayo. But I like using regular mayo because I'm not a vegan yet. I'm more of a vegetarian. All right. And I will add in a little bit of caramelized onions. Do about like, say about like that much. About like that. And I will add in some roasted garlic. About a couple cloves. I love roasted garlic, so actually no, I'm gonna add them all. This is actually a whole, so I'm adding in a whole pot of garlic, okay? So I just added in a pot of garlic. Now I will add in, well, that's actually roasted garlic. Now I'm gonna add in like about a teaspoon of honey, or you can use maple syrup. I'm doing it this way so I don't have to mess up or get sticky everywhere. And for heat, I'm gonna add a little bit, like a dash of cayenne pepper. Now add just a little bit of salt. And now it's time for me to put this on. All right, so I'm just gonna blend this. See if it's ready. BUBBA'S, let me try it to make sure it's my perfection. It's really good. I'll just add a little bit more salt because it is sweet. Because of course the caramelized onions actually form and it actually breaks down, makes it sweet. So I'll add more salt to this. You know what? I'm gonna add a little bit more heat. I like my heat. That's totally optional. You don't have to put cayenne pepper if you don't like it. Delicious. So good. So now that part's done. Now the only thing now is just the waiting game, okay? I'm gonna come back in 25 minutes and y'all can see the roasted vegetables. So we'll be back. All right, y'all, so it's been 30 minutes. So let's go. You can see See that it changed colors from the apple. Yummy! I'm gonna let that cool for a little bit. 2 cups of wild rice and long grain rice mixed, okay? That's 2 cups of cooked, okay? I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds, unsalted. I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of thyme, fresh thyme. I'm adding in, you could use fresh onions or shallots or whatever you have, but I just like using the minced dried onions, so I'm gonna add about like that much. Probably like 1/4 cup. I will add in some garlic powder, about like 1 teaspoon. I will add in salt. Keep in mind, don't add too much because I did add salt and pepper to that. So now I will just get this, put this in there, put this in the bowl as well. All right. You can do 2 things. You can put this in a blender, or I'm just gonna mash it up, okay, with this little potato masher, okay? But you put it in a little blender for a little bit, but don't make sure it's too fine because you want to still have some chunks in the burger meat, okay? So I just chose to do it this way to where it can still be mashed. And you will have already a cooked meal that you already had prepped in the freezer. All right, so now this is good. See that it's still a little chunky? You want this to be a binding moment, okay? You don't want it to be too wet, or you don't want it to be too dry. You want it to be just right. So if it's too wet, that means that you probably overcooked your rice. And if it's too dry, basically that means that you probably undercooked your rice. So the most important thing is make sure your rice is correctly done, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and start forming this baby up, okay? All right. Now keep in mind that this is cooked, so you only need to brown the sides when you're cooking it on the skillet, okay? Make sure it's beautifully firm. See how it looked like this? It still has chunks in it. You want that, okay? You want the chunks. Make sure that you form it correctly. Right there. And just repeat the same process, okay? All right, so right here I cut up some baby chard and some spinach together to put on the burger. But I'm gonna go ahead and get my pretzel bun. To me, pretzel yells out, fall. So you know what? So this is the bread that I'm gonna be using for my fall burger, veggie burger I should say. And if you remember earlier, I made the aioli. So I would just spread a little bit of aioli on top. So when I place it on the skillet, it will get all delicioso, okay? All right. So it's a little bit just to get, you know, some color when you put it on the skillet and all that deliciousness with that heat and sweet. All right. So now I will turn on my skillet over here and I'll get it heated up for the burgers. I'm only gonna be cooking 2, the rest I'm just gonna put in the refrigerator or the freezer because only 2 of us, so I don't wanna cook 4 burgers. All right, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of avocado oil to this. Move this around, just to make sure it doesn't stick. Go ahead and add in 2 patties and let that cook and let it just brown, okay, on both sides because you remember this is already cooked. You just wanna brown it on both sides. All right, y'all, so now it's time to flip. See how beautiful that is? A crust. You'll make sure there's a crust on it. It's not burnt, I promise. It's just a crust. Cook that for a little bit, and I'm going to add some monster cheese, what Americans like to call it, but it's really pronounced Munster. Okay? Because it makes it sound scary. Woo, monster, because of, you know, Halloween and all that stuff. Yeah, a little bit of thought. So I'm going to put a little bit of Munster cheese on top, okay? All right. All right, so I double layered this because I put it on one. Like I got them to put it on one, which is the lowest one, because it's kind of like you can see paper through it. So I put 2 slices on there, okay? So I'm just gonna put it on there until it melts, which doesn't take very long at all. Put this on a lower heat. All right, so I just placed a lid on this to let it melt a little bit longer, because according, like you said, it's already cooked. We just want a little bit of crust on each side, okay? In the meantime, I will go ahead and crank the heat on the medium again. I'll place the buns on there just so it can toast and get warmed and beautiful. It shouldn't take long at all. And then I will also add some sweet potato fries. What's more fall than that? No, that's actually Halloween, sorry. All right, so I got my buns toasted. All right, I will add a little bit more of the aioli, the caramelized onion aioli. Now this will make a tremendous difference with the flavor with the meat, okay? So for the bottom, this is the mixed char and spinach. Place at the bottom. Make sure there's a good amount. We'll make sure this is purty. Next, I will add patty. And last but not least, I will add some more caramelized onions, okay? Oh man, talking about good and delicioso. Yes. Top it off, and look at that baby. Beautiful, isn't it? All right, y'all, so the burger is complete. I also have it with a side of sweet potatoes, as you can see, and I have a little side of the aioli still left, okay? All right, so I know y'all want me to try it, so I will try this burger. What I will do, I'll put it back on the cutting board so I can cut it. You ready? All right, y'all, it's time to try it. Oh, y'all ready for it? Y'all, this is amazing. The sweetness from the onions and also the honey, and then it have a little heat because I added a little bit of cayenne pepper inside the aioli. And then when you bite inside of the meat itself, well, the plant-based meat itself, you can still taste a little tad bit of the apple, but it's still amazing, y'all. It's still amazing. Like the heat and the sweet together, combined together. Woo! And the Munster cheese ain't not. It ain't like nothing on the coast. Oh gosh, y'all. Well, y'all, thank y'all very much for watching this video. I really hope that y'all tried this because this is something very new. Maybe it'd be new for y'all. But it's a new fall dish that you can make. And I know for sure that your kids and also your family members will love it. So, hope y'all enjoy it. Comment, subscribe, hit the like button, and thank y'all and don't forget to share my video, okay? Well, thank y'all very much for watching. Bye.